Hey everybody.
Hello.
So first of all, today is Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday, we will not. No live stream tomorrow. I need to take care of my tires. I need to get my tires changed. And I need to do an oil change on my truck. So I need to be at the tire place as early as I can. And I think they open at 8 in the morning.
I'll be there at least 30 minutes before.
At least.
So
Because winter is around the corner.
there will be a line already at that time. So.
And I need to change my summer tires to winter tires. So no live stream tomorrow. But that doesn't mean that you get to skip on us. Maybe. At least not today.
Well, it's up to you. I guess you could watch us or not. So
What's wrong with you?
It's always their choice.
Watch
But
me.
you'd be missing out. So
You will be. So let's talk about something real quick today. Something that I actually was reading into, and it was something that I was gonna talk tomorrow. I was gonna talk about on the live stream, but since we decided we can, let's give you a little chat on it. And essentially is I read 2 articles, and I'm gonna put them down in the description below. Description below. And it's about 10 million people without power. And essentially, they're talking about Cuba, and a lot of and the articles are in English, so you folks can read it. If you speak Spanish, rock on. If you don't,
you don't need to.
There you go.
Read them still.
But it goes into like, well, people have to throw away whatever food they had, and getting food over there is not easy. And whatever little they get, imagine how harsh it is to now, well, it spoils and now you have to throw it away. Which, it makes me think. It makes me think because our electric system is not good at all. Our grid is busted.
It's vulnerable, right? And we've known that for years.
And it's old.
That too.
Very old. And what they do is instead of upgrading it, they're patching it. Because it costs so much money to fix everything. And yet they want you to go to electric cars. And overall.
So let's put more on an already distressed system and vulnerable system. Let's just add more to it,
It's a system that is already taxed to the max.
Yeah.
And we want to tax it even more.
And God forbid you want to have your own power at your house, solar. God forbid. Some places don't even let you do that. So.
Well, let me say this. Let's say, for example, in Cuba. In Cuba, I think having solar power will be beneficial. It's a tropical island. You get more sunlight than you get anything else. Raining season is it rains for a few hours or a few minutes and the sun comes out. So I think in those areas around the equator will be great. However, here in Alaska, in our area where it's dark half of the year, I don't think it will be feasible. I think it will be complementary.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I don't think you can depend on it as your only source of power, but it's to help in this case.
Which it brings me now to that idea of, can you be 100% off the grid if you want to survive without power?
I work with somebody who lives completely off grid.
Yeah, you can do it.
Completely off grid.
You can do it. You definitely can do it. But you need to have multiple ways to generate power if, and I want to emphasize on the if, you want to be dependent on electricity. You don't have to. You don't have to. And hear me out. There are refrigerators that they don't use electricity. They use propane. And some old ones, and I'm telling you they're old ones because my great-great-grandma had it in Cuba, and I think it's still there. Is a refrigerator that it was powered by kerosene. It's just a little fire, a little wick in there. It's just heating that thing up. How it works, don't ask me. I don't know. But it was kerosene. And I remember them putting a gallon of kerosene, I think once a month or something like that. Very efficient, to tell the truth. Same concept as a fridge in an RV. It uses propane. Essentially, it's just a little flame, keeping I don't know how it works inside, to tell the truth. I'm not an AC person, so her dad was the AC person, not me. I'm more of the welding and building and things like that. But what can you do if they shut down the power? I mean, there's only so much fuel you can put away.
Right.
Only so much. So right now in the island, I believe that they are putting power back on. I think if I read correctly, I think only 2% of the power have been restored, and that is in the main city, the La Habana, which is the capital, where 2 million people live. Now the rest of the people, the rest of the 9 million people, and there's 11 million people in the island, no power, as far as I know. As far as I know, based on the media reports that I'm receiving, not from people.
Right. Okay? I did hear from my family, and they said there's a lot of what was the word she said? Destrozo,
like disaster.
Disaster, but she didn't mention anything about like the power being out or anything like that.
So, but imagine, with no power, most folks, the electric, the stove they have in their house is electric. Mm-hmm. Ours is electric. We should have got a propane one, but it didn't have it at the moment, and we needed to replace ours. So now we're stuck like Chuck.
Yeah.
I have a backup for the backup for the backup for the backup.
And that's the thing. You want to have backups, and the thing I'm thinking about as you're talking about no power is, do you have tools that are manual tools, like kitchen tools, mm-hmm. Outside manual tools that don't require electricity?
Or do you have a way to recharge those tools if they are battery operated? Like mm-hmm. Mine pretty much are almost all of them battery operated.
The Ryobis.
The Ryobis. I have a pretty much a line of Ryobi. I know, don't hate me. Don't hate me. I just like Ryobi.
Oh, we like Ryobi.
I don't care for Miyake or my Craftsman. I like Ryobi.
Is it
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
No, they're good. They're good tools too.
They're good tools. We just
giving you a hard time.
Like Ryobi.
Yeah. But do you have a way to recharge those things? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have a generator. We have a triple fuel generator, meaning that it can take natural gas, it can take propane, and it can take gasoline. Mm-hmm. We have propane stored away. Propane, to me, is one of those favorite things that you can store forever, and it will last a lifetime unless the tank actually kicks the bucket. But the fuel inside lasts forever. Gasoline. This is what I do with gasoline, for those of you who wants to know. I put enough gasoline to last me the entire winter. That's what I put away. Uh-huh. Now, and I did this already. Before I put it away, I put in there fuel stabilizer. I do that like it's my religion. I do that every single year. Well, every single year here. In Florida, I didn't have to do that. It was a little different. I had a bigger tank that I had in there. Different. Here in Alaska, I put the fuel stabilizer.
He's being weird, y'all.
I get my ATV full with fuel stabilizer, and
you want to maintain your stuff.
The other additive that I put in there to remove any moisture, any water. I do that. Both ATVs are full. The Argo is full, and I always keep my vehicles. My 3 vehicles, I always keep it top off.
Like, well, that's a big thing here in the wintertime. They say, never let your gas tank go at least below half in terms of gas. Mm-hmm. Because cars will freeze and then they won't turn on. And so it's a big thing. So you always want to keep your gas tank.
Yeah. And of course, you guys know that I have my heating oil and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say here is something like that happen, and you out of power, what can you do?
Right.
I mean, You guys have seen the system that I have in the house. Is a very simple system, pretty much a go zero torch.
I would love to have a whole house generator.
I have several ones in the house, meaning that for light, that's more than enough. Wood stove, I don't need power. Now that I'm thinking about it, the only reason that we use power is to watch TV and do videos and such.
Yeah, I mean, and then the stove in the house, but we have options to do otherwise if we
now,
need it.
We have abilities to do laundry by hand too. In fact, we did it for what, 3 years? Mm-hmm. 3 years by hand with the tumbler thing and with the wringer.
Yeah, that was all manual.
It didn't need a single watt or anything. So now we have a small
washer that's electric,
but I can run it with my solar
generator, that little
battery bank.
There you go.
I want to call it battery bank. I don't want to call it generator because it really only stores power. It doesn't generate power.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I have one that I use for camping that's more than enough. But I cannot depend on solar here. Maybe in your area you can. I will not put in a wind turbine because it's only good for summer. Again, very limited.
We get wind here, but I think down south, like in Palmer and Wasilla,
but
and
think about it.
Area, they get a lot of
think
wind.
Think about it. We get wind in here, and it is so cold.
Oh God, it's horrible.
That it would destroy the equipment.
Yeah.
And that in itself generates a little bit of heat. So imagine that snow getting into there, melting,
it's
freezing. Now it's ice. It's going to be destroyed. It won't be feasible. It's not feasible for us. So we stuck like Chugs with generators.
As we always say, I feel like we're beating a dead horse because we always tell you have options, have alternatives, think of different ways of doing what you normally do with power, without power.
Mm-hmm.
Have backups to your backups to your backups. Like, I can't say it enough.
Now, if you're going to ask me whether or not we have enough to run the generator for the entire winter, on and off, I think so. Because I can hook it up to my 100 tanks, my 100-pound propane tanks, and I have enough to last for a while. You don't need to really run your generator.
And we really don't need to run it 24/7. Mm-hmm. The freezers during winter won't need, so that's a good thing about being here. You can put them outside with padlocks and they're fine.
And in fact, I have enough coolers, big coolers, like marine coolers, that I can put all my meat and everything and just leave it outside if I don't want to use the freezers. Because my freezers right now, the big ones are in the prepper shed. The prepper shed does have a wood stove too. So imagine that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I mean, have contingencies. If this is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
I never expected to see Cuba completely off power.
It never happened before.
The whole entire island, like no power. That was kind of wow. Like they're used to dealing with it for periods of time, but not the entire island all at once. So it makes you think, like, crap, if that happened here, what would I do? Can
that happen?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is not political. This is a natural disaster. It can happen anywhere. Anywhere. So
and we know that people, I mean, if you're talking doomsday, right? People, the first thing you think about is an attack on the power grid, attacking our water systems. Like it's all connected, and it's possible. That's the thing. It is a possibility. Mm-hmm. So think about it and prepare for it.
Ultimately, mm-hmm. You're not gonna wait for FEMA to come in and give you a generator, because government agencies, first of all, they take forever to respond. Second, there's so much politics involved that's another hurdle you have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Don't depend on anybody. Depend on yourself and the things that you are doing. Like for this winter, we keep beating that dead horse. Please, please, please look into small heaters. Small heaters, like not the electric one, like the Mr. Heater. I keep saying, look at the Mr. Heater.
Look at other options, yeah.
Because I'm telling you.
And then, prep, store away food. Like, the prices are going to astronomically increase. We've seen it with the gas just in the last 2 weeks. It went literally overnight, over $1 increase in the gas. So I just fear that as we get closer and closer to winter, it's going to get worse.
And there will be nothing that you and I can do.
Can't do anything.
The only thing that we can do is actually have as much as we have put away and hope for the best. That's all we can do. So I don't want to extend the video any longer. I think you guys have something to do. Prepare.
Yes.
Go prepare.
Please.
And if you don't mind, if you haven't done so, please, if you like our content, subscribe to our channel, share our videos, like the videos.
Let us know.
Most important, hit that bell for notifications, because YouTube is playing with y'all.
Yeah.
It's also playing with me.
I was going to say, too, just if you have any suggestions or comments of what you're doing in your area, put it down in the comments below.
And remember, the sooner that we hit that 5,000 subscriber, the sooner that one of you can win that Mr. Heater. Yep. I cannot wait to get that away. That rhyme. Awesome. With that being said, everybody, like always, rock on.
Have a good day, guys.
We shall see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.